And we are live. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
So we'll start right off the bat. We got, I think, just about the most amazing letter we might have received as a podcast. This comes from fellow gaming dad, reached out to the show. I had mentioned on an episode previously that I'd started a routine where every night I needed to exercise. I had a health issue with high blood pressure. Happy to report that's actually all under control now. So my health efforts has actually proved off or paid off, which is great. Thankful for that. But I mentioned as part of it, every night I need to exercise, do some cardio. So what I decided to do was buy an exercise bike, plop it in front of the TV. Half-hour cardio meant half hour of gaming.
Right.
And all of a sudden I was gaming all of the time. Like I beat Final Fantasy Remake 7 Remake, which I so badly wanted to do. I'm so happy I did because that was amazing. And just bore fruit. And lo and behold, we got this amazing email from listener of the show, Chad. Really read it really quickly. Chad, I have a 3-year-old. Right there with you, buddy.
Yeah.
A few episodes ago, you chatted about exercising while gaming. One of the ideas that was floated was getting on the exercise bike while gaming. That idea really got into my head. I unfortunately don't have a bike, but I do have a treadmill. So I set up my Xbox Series Xbox Series X, awesome by the way. Small flex, I am jealous. In front of the treadmill. After I get my little guy to sleep, I head downstairs and do a 20-minute HIIT workout, then walk on a treadmill for an hour while gaming. That's an awesome combo. That's fantastic. I played through Halo 4 and 5 and just started Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order doing this. Some amazing titles. Like imagine getting through, imagine you, a new dad, getting through like 3 games that have kind of been on your docket for a while.
Right. We should have started this a long time ago. Like,
it's a
get through your backlog, no problem. You come out with, tone.
The reward of being able to game has really helped with motivation to be active. It took some time to get used to gaming and walking at the same time. During intense moments, I found myself slowing down and almost slipping off the end of the treadmill, but I'm getting used to it and I'm planning on getting a bike in the near future. Thanks for the idea. Love the show. Keep it up, guys. Chad. Man, so firstly, Chad, thank you so much for writing in. I can't describe how happy and excited Jeff are to hear this. Kudos on the work, and I can tell you it certainly pays dividends. Again, because my own kind of health journey as I've done with it. The backlog thing it's really amazing. You just get through these games, and if you were to say, "I'm going to game every night for 30 minutes," it's like, good. I like that you have a hobby.
Yeah.
But it's not really as aspirational, maybe, of all the things you can do. But you say, I'm going to exercise every day for 30 minutes, or Chad knocks it out of the park with an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Because
like, my God, that's like you're a phenom. That's amazing. The secret motivation. I'm saying this worked for me. It still does. It's just that I get to play a game for half an hour.
Yeah.
And almost because I have to, quote unquote, because I got to get this exercise in. So.
Right. It's almost doctor's prescribed. Just saying. Yeah. Like.
Exactly. It's not me, baby. It's not me.
That's Listen, right. I have to.
Doctor's orders. I got to get this weight off.
Yeah.
Me 10 minutes later, all she hears like do 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 do. Oh, so Chad, kudos, man. Keep up the amazing work. Anybody else having similar success stories, we would love to read testimonials on it. Reach us at our website at New Dad Gaming. Same for the socials at New Dad Gaming. So speaking of health,
yeah,
we got called out by a scoundrel and a gentleman.
I don't know why we get called out on this stuff. I'm not sure what he expects us to do.
Yeah, so friend of the show, Jeremy Capozzi, the father of twins. Nope. Twins, I tells you. 2 of them at the same time.
Well, yeah.
Father of twins and a little Boston Terrier who also makes a appearance in his video, called out the New Dad Gaming podcast for the Movember Move Challenge,
Yeah.
which is in support of Movember, a wonderful cause surrounding men's health, one that is very close to myself, actually. Uh, you have to just do some sort of physically straining activity and, post a video, hashtag it out. So he he does it in the midst of his Herculean size effort of physicality. He calls us out. How did you feel about getting your name dragged through the mud like this?
You know what? Like, you can call us out for maybe, a couple jumping jacks here and there, but a 3-minute plank. That's what's happening in his video, and he just tries to show us up. I do love his dog, by the way. So if anybody will try and link the video in our social stuff, because the dog is I think the star of the show. And if you want to call out us and our dogs, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
But don't call us out on the health.
yeah, it's a very good point. So on the video version of this podcast, and please check out our socials for the videos. He is successfully doing a plank, handsome man that he is. In the background are his twins, who are providing some color commentary if you listen to the audio.
Yeah, they're very like they're just well mannered. They're just sitting there, they're gaggling away.
I'm glad you noticed that. I do hate that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was about to
It's
say
like,
it's just no chaos, no, crying yet that we know
like his life's not ruined. And even the dog is so beautifully behaved. And then, so
of.
in the
Yeah.
midst of all this happening, his adorable Boston Terrier, in a bespoke sweater, casually wanders in the frame with with a ball and just chills. He's like, "Oh, you're doing something?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, are you dragging like undeserving gentlemen through the mud? Okay, I'll just lie
Yeah,
here."
that's right. That's right. He'll
So,
do his own plank.
okay. So to answer the call, what we're gonna Jeff, I'll do. We're going to do 10 push-ups each, and on behalf of the podcast, we're going to donate to Movember, which truly is a great cause surrounding men's health. Which, how fitting given our gaming, treadmilling, biking
right.
habits. So we'll do that at the end of the show. There'll be an audio experience where one by one we'll yell out the push-ups we're doing. Then if anybody wants to call us on it, you can check the video after
Yeah,
the fact. So
exactly.
thank you, Jeremy. Darn you. And away we go. Now, so following up on a story or that we've kind of covered around the scalping, the vicious scalping
Yeah.
of PS5s. Something kind of came across your news box, Jeff, of something that's happening to us up here in Canada.
Yeah, so the Toronto police reached out and they actually tweeted just saying that there's okay, so a lot of scalping, a lot of money on these consoles, right? So some are going for, $1,000, and people are meeting up and getting robbed. Either the console owner is getting
Violently.
robbed. Yeah, violently.
Knife
So,
point, gun point,
yeah,
violent robbing.
it's like step one would not be doing it in a parking lot. You might want to do it at a police station or some other safe area. But when you see the Toronto police kind of warn you about this, and it's a very hot item, both consoles are getting these kind of situations arising. It doesn't bode well for scalpers and for the people that want to buy these consoles. So if you're walking in money in hand, thinking that you're going to walk away, unscathed, I would think twice, or take at least the police's advice and think twice. So
Yeah, that's like that. And it's tricky, right? Because there's never any part of me that would ever wish violence upon anybody,
no,
ever. You know what I mean? Like, and it is unacceptable. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Like it's really uncalled for, unnecessary, awful.
Yeah.
Like I will say, like you saw how viscerally upset I was at
Yes.
scalpers last week, and still am. Like it's really disgusting, and especially when
I
you
can't
see,
tell.
yeah, when you see the jerk with a pile of like 10 of the boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
And okay, again, I don't get one, so be it. I'm doing fine for games, but somewhere there is a 10-year-old who just really wanted it, and you're being a jackass for like $200, and then you hear these people getting robbed. It's a world of emotions. It's not, and again, like I do not gloat, do not condone. I hate it.
No.
I don't want it to happen, even to these people who are awful. But man, it's wild. So the tweet itself, so from the official police Twitter account, public safety alert, City of Toronto. People are selling game systems online. We have had numerous reports of robberies. Some robberies are with weapons/violence. Sellers advised to choose meeting areas carefully. Let someone know when you're meeting. So that's
Again,
wild.
yeah, don't wish violence on anybody, but like, holy, a little bit of not karma, but like, you took advantage, and now you have a risk that comes with it, which is unfortunate. But don't do this, and people don't buy from scalpers. I know that will never go.
Yeah.
There's always one. Someone's always going to fold or has the money available, but that's what happens.
Now, the scalping does not seem like it's going to stop anytime soon because of another story. Like, this has been a very big news week that's impacted us from the topics we've kind of discussed. So, yeah, this other one hit our wire as well around PS5s.
Yeah, it's basically Jim Ryan ahead of Sony saying we've sold every single PlayStation
We ain't
that,
got no mo.
like nothing is available. They're coming off the line and they're already like pre-booked. They're sold. Like that's it. So, coming from a dad perspective that has a PS5 and that kids that enjoy the PS5, thank God Santa didn't promise no PS5 because it's not coming. And even with the Series X, right? Again, they
Oh,
haven't come out and said not everyone is sold, but they're sold out. So, you know, I
I
count
wouldn't.
my lucky stars that hasn't happened. But
I didn't even think about that Christmas list angle. Like the kid and what do you want for Chris? And the only thing on his list is
yeah,
PS5, and then you're staring down. We're in hard times right now
right,
amongst the pandemic and
absolutely.
everything else. And then, okay, by its on its own, the thing would have cost six, seven, $800.
Yeah.
Let me hop over to online selling retail, which I can do now. I bring it up $1,000. Like it's the median for a PS5 seems to be going for about 950 to $1,200. 1,000 seems to be the sweet spot for
Yeah.
these jerks.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's only getting you, again, a console, one controller. So if you want another controller, that stock is also depleted. So never mind just, even if you had the console yourself, like I do, not gloating, but I can't get the headset, the controller or charging stand, or a controller because they've all been bought up and being resold because people see that market. So, like, you're
Hold
scrolling
on,
through
hold
thousands
on,
of
hold on.
dollars.
You're telling me you can't even get a controller? Like that's also being scalped?
I cannot. Yeah.
Oh
So the
Lord.
places I've checked, it's not as bad. Like they're not going to be going up and immediately they're sold out. But there's no place around here that I have seen that has a controller in stock or the charging stand, which I wanted. Nowhere. So that's fun.
That's cool. That's cool. Oh, it's kind of like it's not like I do wonder when the violence happens if it's people who just really want the system and then they take it home and they lovingly play it
Yeah.
the entire time, or do they just turn around and scalp it? Like, what do you think the ratio is of violent crime to go home and play it versus just to put it back up on the site in a weird batch of irony?
Yeah, they're just putting it like they're not opening this, right? Like they're immediately turning it around and that's when things happen.
I'd like to think the violent criminals would at least open it and play a little bit of the Astros playroom, just a bit.
Just a bit, and then they leave their profile in there, they don't wipe it or something, and then you get it and you're like, hey.
Wait a minute. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, I just stabbed a guy for this, but man, this
Yeah.
these adaptive triggers, this is wild.
I have talked to my kids about this too, like just the scalping and how people have set the higher price on something that they're lucky to have, just to kind of give
Hmm.
them that extra, like, you know,
Perspective.
yeah, like if this were ever to happen to you, like they would, I related it to their Pokemon cards, right? So you wouldn't like up the, well, I guess that was a bad example for them because they're like rare, like, but you know what I mean? Like it's just something that isn't looked upon in a good, respectful way to kind of approach this thing. So
Hmm.
they kind of understand it, and I don't know, they seem to appreciate what they have a little bit more.
That's amazing. So actually,
Yeah.
she's got two follow-on stories for that. Let me hit you with this. So I'll say that. Let me Google something else. Mario 3. It's
Yes. Yes.
sold now holds the official record as the most expensive game ever sold, and I think this is the one that your
Yes.
mom was in line for back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, last episode I talked about my mom standing in line for Super Mario 3 for normal Nintendo, and she witnessed people at the front of the line get their copy and then turn right around to the people near the back of the line to sell it for more. And now I look
Jeez.
at this. I'm like 155,000, I think it was 156,000. Sorry, I should have kept my copy just in the box.
Yeah.
Just
So there's the story, kids. Make sure you don't play any of your games. Just keep it sealed. Hold
well,
on to it
yeah,
for 30 years.
yeah. So like scalping right away, bad. But if you wait 30 years, good.
Well, if you lovingly have held on to something for 30 years, you could sell it
Yeah,
at that point.
yeah. I know. Yeah,
Then we're cool.
yeah.
So I'll just say so my own story. Like, I had an interesting chat with my son today because there's some Black Friday deals on Nintendo Switch. Which again,
Yes.
for anybody who catches this before Black Friday 2020, take a look. There's some decent sales. I mean, it's Nintendo sales, so everything is still awfully expensive.
Yeah.
Um, I think one of the games was like Marvel Alliance, or like the more new one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Mario Wii U because that is on sale.
Oh, I bet it's on sale. That devil game, that awful thing. So, anyway, so oh, we went off topic. The so the Marvel game was there. It's a isometric one where you can be the whole suite of heroes. Marvel
Oh yeah,
Alliance 3 or something like that, I believe it's called.
yeah.
Uh, he's watched people play that. He really wants that one, but it was like $40, and we had just bought uh, Smash Brothers,
Right.
and it was just kind of like purchase after purchase. I don't so much mind the price. I might do that in the next little while. I'll see about the pricing. But there was just that moment of like, I don't think I should just keep buying you everything you see just because you've asked about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even so much that it's a deal. I didn't necessarily mind the price of it, especially for something I would like to play and I know he'll like to play, so we could do it together.
Yep.
But the thought of just constantly buying, it's like, oh, I want to play that game. Then we buy it and we play it. Sets a weird precedence. I don't know if you've kind of stumbled upon that yourself and had tried to apply some caution to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially at the ages of 10 and 7, we've kind of introduced, they if they want a game, they have an allowance or they have birthday money or they need to wait for their birthday or Christmas to ask for it. And not saying it's guaranteed, but those are the areas where they could get a game without actually having to fork over the money. I'm not going out and buying them a game because they want it.
Hmm.
I will buy games on sale for me that I might want to enjoy with them now and then, but it's not because let's, for example, my youngest son, really loves Ori and the Will and the Wisps on Nintendo Switch. Like,
Awesome.
loves it to death. And he really
Very
wants
cool.
it. And
Good
he's like,
taste.
yeah, right. So I'm like, oh, I kind of want to support this because it's like, it's a great game and I kind of want to play it. So, but I'm like, no, you have some money that you could spend to do this. I could, do it in the eShop, or you can wait for Christmas or your birthday. So he's asked for Christmas if he can get Ori and the Will and the Wisps. So he's gonna wait. But it's just like if you buy things every single time that they ask,
Hmm.
kids just like they're like squirrels, right? They will look outside and then all of a sudden, look in a different direction and they're into something else. So it's if you don't like put something into them that hey, this does cost money and it's not cool to switch things like all the time, it's kind of like that learned lesson eventually, right? Where hopefully they grow up and they they realize some value of money,
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. I was trying to break it down for him. He's right now. He's kind of grinding us, if I'm honest. He'll ask fairly often if there's something he can do to make money.
Well, that's good.
Like if
That's
I
good.
if I help mom with dinner, can I have a buck, like a
Oh,
dollar? Which is like, hmm. Sometimes it hits at the right moment where it feels genuine enough that it's like, yeah, you tell you what, you do that for us, and we'll give you a dollar.
yeah,
We need to expand it to chores and things like that. But he is
yeah,
5, so we're picking and choosing. But my lesson to him was just us trying to use that to get him to understand it. Where it's like, do you know how when you have to do work, like you have to help mom, you have to do something, and we give you a dollar, you have to do something and get some money, right? He's like, yeah. It's like, well, like I have to do things to get
yeah,
money, and that's what we use to buy these things. So it's not just free. It's not just we can just spend and buy this stuff. We need to work and be careful because you don't want to just lose all the money inside of your. He has a monkey piggy bank. You don't want to lose all the money inside your monkey piggy bank, right? He's like, no. He's like, yeah. So you got to be careful about what you spend. You got to work for it. So you can't just buy everything. I think like it. I don't think he's going to quite grasp all the nuances of uh, earning money, spending money, saving, but you start
No.
to get that conversation. I'm glad
Yeah.
to know you're kind of in the same wheelhouse with me as far as I would totally buy this.
Yeah.
It's more about the fact I don't want to be seen to purchase everything you say.
Yeah. That's the tough decision as a gaming dad. You're like, no, 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 but I really want to. And if I can justify it myself,
That we're
then it's
cool.
okay, and then I can spend time with my kids and blah, blah, blah. But no, yeah, you've planted the seed, which is good. Like, I think it does take some years to kind of get them in. And, my 10 and 7-year olds still don't quite grasp everything, but, it doesn't stop them from asking all the time.
Yeah.
But
If any listening dads have tips on how they've kind of relayed money and spending money, especially how it relates to games,
yeah.
drop us a note. Uh, Quick aside, Splatoon, was that ever good for your kids? I was
Um,
curious about that one because I've always been very interested in the series. Never played it. Looked like kind of silly fun. I was wondering if my son might like it.
See, I think we had well, they like the Smash Brother character.
Yeah.
And I think there was a demo of it at some point. Maybe it was I don't know if it's Splatoon 2 was the Switch one. I guess it was. There was a demo or something.
Hmm.
I thought they shut the servers down.
Hmm.
I thought it was done, but I guess because I looked into it a little bit further, it was just like a annual competition that they do, a Splatfest, I think they called it.
Oh,
That was
okay.
kind of over, but the servers are still running and stuff. But they had, um, again, with I think the demo, they had just crazy fun. I
Hmm.
don't think it lasted long though,
Oh, okay.
so I don't think it's like a long term. At least at Nintendo money, I think it's on sale, which might be a good investment. But
Yeah,
full
the other one I
price.
was wondering about was Mario Tennis Aces. And I say this kind
Oh,
of, I say this one a bit selfishly because Mario Tennis for N64, which I have, like
yes,
I
yeah,
got, never mind. So I just answered my own question. Much like Smash Brothers, what I'll do is get him to play the original Mario Tennis with me and see if he
yeah.
gets into it. Because I'd love him to like it because I adore Mario Tennis. It was one of my favorite games on the 64. So,
I had it for Virtual Boy and loved it.
wow. can't believe
Yeah.
you can't believe you don't wear glasses after all that eye damage.
It's right. All I saw was green after because my red uh, color was screwed up. But yeah, no, I haven't heard of anything bad or good on Mario Aces, Tennis Aces. It'd be
Okay,
interesting to
well,
see.
we'll give that one a shot. Now the so to bring it back to the scalpers for a second, I think what I've found bizarrely alluring
Okay.
what is the Xbox Series S. So what's curious about is I don't know what's up with this console, but I it does not seem to be pulling the scalper prices that the other consoles are. So
Right.
the thing sells at 379, I think it is, or something like that. Call it like 380. After
Yeah.
taxes, you're looking at about $400. I don't see a lot of systems selling for much more than 500, definitely not, and then anywhere between 450 to that 500. Which is so
Right.
it's basically just like the cost of it plus 20 to $50. Because
Yeah.
I don't think it has the same appeal. I don't know if you've kind of seen the same thing or if I'm off.
Well, that might be guided by some things that are out there in the internet sphere where there's like some videos from Digital Foundry who do technical kind of breakdowns of the
Hmm.
systems, and it seems now in the launch games at least, the Series S was supposed to kind of promise that anything the X can do, it just does lower resolution.
Hmm.
But that's kind of turned out to be not entirely true at this point, where it won't do things like ray tracing, or it really struggles with it. 60 frames a second is not on lock. Sometimes it doesn't do that.
Hmm.
Sometimes it doesn't even have the option to do it. So I think there's just that not degraded experience, but just like what it promised, it's not quite living up to right now. It might be in the future, but maybe that's driving these prices kind of to where the purchase price is, right? Like it's not. I think if you're going to go next gen, a lot of people think, well, I might as well spend the extra 100 and get something
Hmm.
to last, right? Even as like a new dad kind of experience, I would invest in. I've kept my PS4 for 7 years, so
Hmm.
if you're going to invest, you might want to invest a little further. So
Yeah, I'd almost be curious if in some ways my PS4 Pro. No, that's there's no way. I was about to say my PS4 Pro might match some of the visuals on the Xbox Series S. I don't think so. That doesn't make any
no,
sense.
I don't think
But
so.
Yeah, it's funny though. It's almost this weird gating effect, I think, where because there is the Xbox Series X, which is a true full, like
Yeah.
no holds bars experience. It's like, what are you going to charge for a Series S? Like $700? You mean the cost of a Series X? Like not like you know what I mean? Like there's kind of a weird ceiling in place, right? Plus probably less demand. I don't know. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
it's a weird space, I think, just in general for the Series S. Um, Knowing that even just you'll probably have to expand that hard drive, right?
Hmm.
That hard drive is pretty slim, and just I think maybe it was meant for an audience that could do like game streaming or something with it, or even as a secondary console. So if you do have kids and you just want to give them, a little taste of that next gen, this would be a good one. Or college, even. I could see lugging this thing around instead of having a $700 console sitting in my dorm room. So maybe there is an audience for there, but I don't think it's as rabid as some of the people out there that want that fresh new brute force super powered machine,
Hmm.
right? It's almost like settling for second place where
Yeah.
you're like, but yeah, and maybe that's where these prices are coming from, where the scalping is a little bit different for it.
Yeah, because the other thing the thought I had is, as best I understand it, and Jeff and I honestly looked and we couldn't confirm or deny, but
Yep.
I swear we've both heard this, is that the game streaming that currently exists that lets you stream Xbox games from the cloud to your Android device and eventually iPhones once they figure out the workaround, which
Yeah.
apparently is coming pretty soon, as I understand it. They're just going to copy the Luna model where
Right.
it just goes in your browser.
Yeah.
So they'll figure that one out. So full-fledged Xbox games that stream directly to your mobile device. I have heard, and give me your thoughts on this, where they will also stream to the Xboxes. So with theoretically in that space with a Series S, you'd be able to stream a game to this Xbox. So if you wanted to have a game that maybe would push a little bit beyond it or have slightly better graphics,
Yep.
no, man, I'm gonna walk that back. That sounds a bit weird. It seemed like it more okay. It'd be more like if you buy an Xbox One, like the last gen of the Xbox, and that did game streaming. Then you could have next gen titles streaming in the old suite of games.
Right.
Man, this is so confusing.
If it does the streaming, right? Like if it depends on how Game Pass works in the streaming portion. Like if you could stream to your phone or PC, it streams, right? Does it stream to your PC or does it download to your PC?
Downloads to your PC.
Okay, so it
Th-
downloads there, but
Now
it
that
streams
that
to
for
your
sure
phone.
I've heard is supposed to that's eventually supposed to turn on streaming. So I
Okay.
think so again let's put that as table stakes. I'm happy to be corrected. As best we understand it,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
some point you will be able to stream Xbox games to your PC or to your Xbox itself.
Okay. So it would make sense to get if it goes to an Xbox console, depending on where their threshold is. If you get an
Yeah.
older machine for cheaper and stream. See, I don't think they would allow to do that. Again, like as a new dad gaming rep, I want clarity and I want it clear. I want it like in big bold letters so I don't have to like dig
Yeah.
deep.
Clear. Okay, let's try this. I know for sure is clear. Um, so the Xbox Game Pass, which I am subscribed to, I still enjoy it quite a bit. The inside of like gaming dad Chad from the beginning of the show also is subscribed to it. He
Yep,
better be with his beautiful Series X.
that's
Lucky
right.
man.
Yes. No S for
um,
him.
I very much like the Game Pass. So, but I have a gaming PC. I don't currently have an Xbox.
Right.
EA, for instance, just released a massive suite of games, and that's currently what I have up on the screen here. So all the kind of older uh, sports games, NBA, Madden. There's Fight Night on here. Adored that game, Fight Night Champion.
Hmm.
All the old NHLs, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefront 2, Titanfall 2. So a huge library of EA games,
Right.
only on Xbox though.
Weird.
So with my Game Pass, I don't have access to this. I would need an Xbox. But one of the things I've heard about these new, especially the S, but also the Xbox itself, Series X, is that it makes for an amazing last gen console.
Hmm.
In that, so you get all the cool features. So load times are ridiculously snappy. Quick resume, so you have like 3 or 4 games on the go at one time. And then you have this library of amazing games you never quite got around to, and then access to the newer titles at slightly reduced frame rates. So to me, it still makes a very enticing value prop, right? And then at some point, for some reason, if a game really is going to be kind of chunky on it, maybe that's one that
Right.
you stream instead.
Right.
But just even at this point, as far as it's more available, less ridiculous on price,
Yeah.
and gets you access to an amazing suite of kind of current gen, last gen titles, all for the lower price, it kind of starts to it makes a good compelling argument for me
Yeah.
when I'm at that stage.
Yeah. I could see that. Just to circle back quickly, was now you have to kind of teach your kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, why can't I have all these games? What do you mean? Like, they're all in front of me on the subscription. I can pick whatever one I
Oh,
want. What do you mean? So,
oh
like,
my.
maybe saying,
That's
daddy has to pay every month for this, and maybe that's something you want to do, but it's not how
jeez.
you work.
We're
Nintendo
gonna,
doesn't have this.
do you have PlayStation Pass? Like the or
No.
okay, you
Oh,
don't.
I have PS Plus, but not the streaming
The game
PS.
streaming one, okay, because I was gonna say it
No.
almost be you should see if you can get a free subscription to it. I have it. I'm gonna cancel it. Turns out we're not really using it. Switch
Okay.
is really my son's console of choice.
Yep.
And I have such a back catalog. I do not need more. So I'd almost be curious if they have a free to see how they would react. Kids in a Netflix
Yeah.
age,
Yeah.
if that's how they consume content, how would they approach a game streaming service if they had full access?
Yeah.
It might be Pandora's box. I don't know. Do we want to, as gaming dads, even broach this? Could be dangerous.
It would be interesting though. I would want to see the reaction and how that would work. And then I think there is trials, like a 7-day trial, which would be enough.
Could be interesting. I could try to boot it up for my son again, see if I can get him interested. But like I said, he kind of bounced off pretty hard. I wanted to just
Yeah.
go back to Smash Brothers, which
Well,
don't
that's
blame
fine.
me, fella.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so see if you do it. Any gaming dads out there have had that experience, reach out to us. I'd be kind of curious to see what the how a kid would react to the Netflixification of gaming that we're kind of
Yeah.
heading towards. And otherwise, I guess I'll keep you posted if I find any of these newfangled next gen consoles.
That's right. Yeah.
Not likely. With that, though, we'll wrap it up for the week. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Again, big shout out to Gaming Dad Chad and his 3-year-old for the amazing letter. Thank you so much for writing and letting us know about that. That brought incredible joy to us. And keep it up for your health gaming journey, along with the rest of the gaming dads. And a special screw you to Jeremy for the health challenge. Oh man, I was about to wrap it up and I forgot about the health challenge.
Oh, nuts.
Okay, I know. We're gonna do it. Okay. So this will be
Right.
so again, we have been challenged by a good friend of the show, Jeremy, to do the Move It challenge for Movember, which is a great charity, which we very much like to support. So the way we'll do this is the podcast will donate to Movember. So firstly, just to kind of support the cause, but secondly, for the Move It part, we're going to do 10 push-ups each, one at a time, counting them. So for the audio listeners,
Yeah.
they get a piece of it. Would you like to go first there? 10
Yeah.
push-ups.
I'll do first. Okay.
Okay, do
10
your best to
push-ups?
do your best to shout it out
I'll
as you
shout
go
it out.
for
Right.
audio.
All right. Are you
He's off
counting
screen,
yet?
folks.
There's one. There's one.
You count. I can't see you.
There's 2. 3. I need like cheering on. 4.
You got this, buddy.
5.
Do it for the games.
6. 7. Oh, my back.
Do it for best. Do it for Master Chief. You got this.
9. 10. There we go. 10.
Whew. Okay, where am I gonna go?
There we go.
I'm not gonna be able to hear you because I gotta take off my headset.
Oh, okay, sure. All right.
I'll just be yelling.
I'll yell into the mic.
You got this.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's Trevor doing his 10 again for the Movember Move Challenge.
2.
We don't know. Oh, here you can hear him.
3. Forgot to count the first one.
3.
4.
No cheating. No cheating.
5.
Can't do that.
6.
Go. You gotta pace yourself.
7. 8.
See, he's had practice with all of his
9.
30 minutes of cardio.
10.
Perfect. Wow.
Woo.
That's a record.
Man,
We should do that.
I was about to do all of them without yelling them out, which is like it's like, are you doing them?
That's okay. I promised everybody, all our listeners, this is how you sign off now. You do 10 push-ups.
Yeah, we did 10 push-ups, screaming at the mic, and then come back all out of breath.
That's right.
Not too out of breath because I exercise every night with my game.
That's right.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this, folks. Thanks, Jeremy, for the challenge. We'll go ahead and
guess.
donate on behalf of the podcast. That's a good episode. It's a good cause. So thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us at our website, newdadgaming.com, or find us on a social at New Dad Gaming, Facebook or Twitter. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and any of the other major podcasting networks. We do the show weekly. If you have gaming tips, ideas, questions, anything else gaming dad related, we'd love to hear from you. Until next week, my name is Trevor. I have no next-gen console, 10 push-ups in the bank, and a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and I got 10 push-ups in there too. That's about it. And a PS5.
Getting fit every week. God,
Right.
can you imagine if that's our sign-off from now on? And dad push-ups. All right. See you next week.
Okay, see you.